So wine number three. Let me pull this one out. Yeah, I think I got the right one this time. Aslina, Cabernet Franc from South Africa. A little backstory on this. There's a small import company called Wine for the World, and they import wines from underrepresented people, if you will, underrepresented groups from around the world. And they were not licensed in New Jersey. And then back in late winter, I got asked to provide the wine through a very generous donor who lives in the community, Pat Bell, for the Badass Art Women's Awards in Newark. So I said to Pat and the organizers, I said, if you're giving out badass art awards, you need to have wines for the event from badass women, and so I reached out to Wine for the World, who still didn't have any sales force in New Jersey, but had just been that month had just been sort of able licensed finally to sell in New Jersey. They were pretty surprised that someone actually reached out to them rather than them having to do the sales call. But as you guys know, that's how I roll. And if I want something, I try to go and find it in this market or find a way to get it. And there's not many people as badass as Nkisi Biela, who is the Nsiki Biela, who is the first Black female winemaker in South Africa. She's from Zululand, raised by her grandmother, Aslina, and it's a tribute to her. And you'll see that also a tribute to her heritage is that traditional basket you see right there on the label. Nsiki was a domestic worker and got a scholarship in South Africa to learn how to make wine, and from there went and worked with some really good producers in Bordeaux, and most certainly is influenced by some time and collaborations she did in California, in Napa, I believe, and finally went back to South Africa, and I think for about 7 or 8 years now is making her own wines. I had the real pleasure to actually meet her a few months back, and she was in New York for a few days, and I got to go to a really cool South African wine bar on the Upper East Side, where she was for the day, and there was like a South African style barbecue and music that afternoon, and the owner of the wine bar, actually I'm friendly with, and talked about maybe trying to do a group event at that wine bar, just to give you guys a little bit of a preview of maybe another possible event down the road. And so I got to meet her, and she's a lovely woman, and but certainly no pushover. And I don't think you can be to have come from where she came from to doing what she's doing now. And she makes really good wine. I could have easily used her Sauvignon Blanc or her Chardonnay, or a red blend that she has to highlight what she's doing. But I thought it was good to sort of, put her wine in with the others. The wine is certified sustainably produced, so it could be organic, and most certainly maybe, but maybe not. Maybe the grapes aren't certified as organic, but they have a sustainable certification in South Africa, from Western Cape area in South Africa. And again, this is probably the most modern, if you will, of the three Cabernets. It comes in about 14.5% alcohol, but still dialed back compared to a lot of others. There's oak, but it's judicious. Again, mostly neutral or integrated well into the wine itself. You get that black fruit, dark fruit flavor in there. Get a little bit of cigar box. Now, we talked about certain flavors in some of the other videos that you find: cocoa and chocolate, mint and eucalyptus, cigar box and pencil shavings. These are all, old leather books. These are all sort of different flavor scent profiles that you'll find in Cabernet, depending on the age and where it's made. You get that ripe, jammy fruit, and you get that really vanilla, coconutty oak, and really the bigger versions where, when you see the alcohol climbing to the high 14s and then into the 15s and even 16%. because they need to balance out the heat of the alcohol, and that jamminess. So all these other factors that create a balance in that wine start to get a little more cartoonish. Again, the three wines that I chose this month are all really representative of the grape and a lot of the characteristics of the grape made in different ways in three different parts of the world. And this one, I think, is also just an incredible story for a woman who, probably at one time in her life never dreamt that she'd be doing this, never dreamt that, she'd be, when she came to New York for 4 days, she was, really celebrated. People turned out to see her at different venues. I spoke with her about next time she comes in 2023, and spoke to the importer. And I said, if you bring Nsiki to New Jersey, that we will do a wine dinner with her. And they were very very gung ho about that possibility. So that's another something that might be something to look ahead to in the next year. So that's the wine. Those are the three wines. Enjoy them. Try them side by side. Take notes if you're not going to try them side by side for yourself, so you can get a good understanding of how they were similar, how they were different. These are all, again, really, I think, really nice expressions of really one of the world's noble and most classic and most popular grapes, made all in styles that I think are really well done. And really show the best aspects of these wines. So and of the grape. All right, cool.